The 7 things you should be talking about today. Number 7.
Alabama could be moving towards implementing an 8-week paid paternal leave. Parental would probably be the right way to say that. Leave policy for state employees and teachers. You get 8 weeks off to have that kid. Okay, that sounds great. All right, I don't have any problem with that. But 8 weeks, there we go, parental leave, and you get the option there to have that. Yeah, so there we go. It'll be 8 weeks of paid leave to mothers and one parent in cases of adoption. So one person who either births the baby or adopts them, they're going to take care of that. Look, that's just a job incentive, and I think that's completely fine. You got to compete. One of the ways you do so is you increase benefits. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do that for new parents. That's good. We should incentivize cranking out some babies. So let's go ahead and do just that.
Number 6.
Birmingham's interim police chief, Michael Pickett, has unveiled a 7-point crime reduction strategy, which I think is great. It's nice to see somebody there actually cares about this kind of stuff. I mean, Mayor Randall Woodfin doesn't. He's selling a book about what a great mayor he is. I don't know why, but there it is. This all conflicts with the incompetent, TV-friendly, book-shilling Mayor Randall Woodfin's public opposition to collaborating with federal law enforcement on immigration matters, but he wants to strengthen federal partnerships. The city is still dealing with a surge in homicides, recording 13 by February 6th of 2025, after a historic high of 151 homicides in 2024. Woodfin's criticism of President Trump's immigration policies contrasts with Pickett's plan to work closely with federal agencies to address violent crime. Hopefully it works out.
Number 5.
The Alabama House passed HB 49. A bill allowing the death penalty for individuals convicted of raping or sodomizing a child under the age of 12. This was offered up by Representative Matt Simpson, who correctly argued that increasing the state support for such laws could challenge a 2008 court ruling deeming it unconstitutional. So I like this. Let's do this. Opponents, including Representative Philip Ensler, cited moral objections. Just make sure we understand this. The moral objection is against killing people who rape or sodomize children under 12. Okay. He argued that there is no evidence that executions deter crime. I don't care. That it's costly. I don't care. I don't. Oh, no. It doesn't deter crime. Oh, I don't care.
Number 4.
Alabama Secretary of State Wes Allen advocated for Fort Novacell. God, so stupid. I mean, it's just so dumb to be renamed back to Fort Rucker following Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's move to restore the name of Fort Bragg in North Carolina from Fort Liberty. Now honoring a World War II hero instead of a Confederate general, Fort Novacell, originally named after Confederate Colonel Edmund Rucker, was renamed in 2023 to honor a Chief Warrant Officer for Michael J. Novacell Sr., a Medal of Honor recipient celebrated for his contributions to Army aviation. This has nothing to do with Chief Warrant Officer Novacell or whether or not he is deserving of this. The problem here is this. You did all of these things where you change history and you redid all these things because you're trying to appease a bunch of people who will never be appeased. Change it back to what it should be, Fort Rucker.
Number 3.
President Donald Trump signed an executive order directing the Department of Government Efficiencies, DOGE, to implement massive cuts to the federal workforce. So I just want to lay out what's happening here. They said, hey, who'd like to take a buyout? About 60,000 employees said us, and Democrats said, no, you can't have a buyout. And now they're saying, okay, well, what if we just fire you? Well, right now they're putting in place hiring restrictions and plans for large-scale reductions while exempting roles in law enforcement, national security, and immigration enforcement. They want to cut back the bureaucracy. That's what they're trying to do. While a federal judge has temporarily halted Trump's administration's buyout program, even though it's not a buyout, It offers deferred resignations with pay following a lawsuit saying it's unlawful and lacks proper analysis. They're going to lose this lawsuit. These judges are out of control. You can say these judges are out of control and still say you'll abide by the final rulings here, but these judges are out of control and these people will lose.
Number 2.
Elon Musk defended his leadership of the Department of Government Efficiency, known as DOGE, asserting that his efforts to cut federal spending, fire non-essential workers, and eliminate wasteful programs align with President Trump's mandate to reduce bureaucracy and overhaul the government. He held court inside the Oval Office while his son sat there and picked his nose. At one point, he took his son and put him on his shoulders as well. Is he using his kid as a human shield? like what I don't mean against like people trying to harm him, but I think like people, and you can see like the media moving the camera to make sure his son stays in frame while all these things are going on, because it's kind of funny. Anyway, Musk pointed out a couple of things. One, a 150-year-old receiving Social Security benefits. Somebody needs to go to jail for that. An inefficient manual retirement process stored in a limestone mine. They're all complaining about unelected people doing this, but that's how the government works. All these people are unelected. Why are we mad about this one guy?
And now time for the number 1 thing you should be talking about today.
Alabama United States Senator Katie Britt blasted disingenuous Democrats for labeling Elon Musk a co-president over his leadership of the Department of Government Efficiency, known as DOGE. You like how he worked that into like almost every story? Which aims to cut government waste, fraud, and abuse. She accused Democrats of ignoring similar concerns during the Biden administration. I would disagree with Katie Britt on this. I don't think these are similar concerns. I don't. Because her concerns are actually valid about Joe Biden. Joe Biden was clearly not running the show. Look at Joe Biden in the past and look at Joe Biden when he was president. Not only in the fact that he was a husk of a human being whose brain was rotting inside his rotting corpse of a body, but you also look at his decision-making. Based on his previous positions, none of his decision-making even made sense. Jake Sullivan, Jill Biden, and his crackhead, no-good son of a bitch son, Hunter Biden, they were running the show. They were the ones that held influence. They were the ones holding meetings. And now they're like, oh, Donald Trump is letting Elon Musk do things. No, Donald Trump appointed Elon Musk to do a job and is clearly overseeing him doing it. They held a press conference in the Oval Office yesterday. How can you argue that Donald Trump is just letting this guy run amok? It's a lie. I know. The media lies. Dale, you don't have to tell us the media lies. We already know the media lies. Sorry, they lie and it has to be pointed out. Britt also praised Trump's leadership on social media, contrasting it with what she described a lack of command during the Biden presidency. And I want to point something out. Here's what was going on during the Biden administration. They were diverting millions of dollars to New York City to pay hotels owned by the Pakistani government, luxury hotels, in order to house illegal immigrants. When Trump comes into office, they say, hey, you're not spending $59 million on housing illegal immigrants in a luxury hotel owned by Pakistan? FEMA said, oh, we're going to send that money anyway. So 4 people got fired yesterday for that $59 million payment that went out. Only 4 people lost their jobs over $59 million. Think about that. The Department of Homeland Security is noting that, there's a lot of stuff going on in their office as well, where people are leaking about ICE raids, tipping people off to allow gang members to evade capture. When they find out who those people are inside the government, they should put them in prison. So all of this is going on with this insubordination, and they need to root it out. So now the Democrats and the media are mad that Donald Trump is exerting power over the federal workforce. No, that's exactly how it's supposed to work. They are not a standalone branch of government. They are employees serving at the behest of the president and other elected officials. So screw this nonsense. This co-president talk is garbage, and every single person should know that. Thank you very much for that. You may weigh in here and voice your opinion. It is very simple for you to do so. A couple of ways. You can voice your opinion on the 7 things. You can get your questions in for 10 with him. It is, of course, very simple. Right here, right now. Pick up the phone. 205-545-9950. Pick up the phone, make a phone call, leave a text. 205-545-9950. Very simple ways to get involved right there. So let's continue. Matt Murphy will be with us, WTN in Nashville. We'll talk with him, get his thoughts on the big game and a whole lot more right here on the fastest hour of radio anywhere on your radio dial.
You're listening to News and Views with Dale Jackson.